Teching 101 July Vlogs is brought to you by Dentine Ice. Chew the ice. Although I guess you really wouldn't chew ice. I don't know what the tagline for Dentine is. 40 minutes fresher breath after chewing? That doesn't sound like a good tagline. And I have a friend that actually chews ice, like she does. Like she'll just get ice out of the little refrigerator thing, and then she'll just... I don't know. Just feels weird to me when I do that. Anyway, so today's video is going to be kind of scattershotted because a bunch of stuff happened today, but really it just has no connection between it whatsoever. First thing is that I'm getting a new phone. Woo! Now this thing is a piece of shit. This thing is like the dumbest smartphone I've ever had in my life, and you know, it would just, I'm not going to go into the laundry list of the shit that's wrong with it, but let's just narrow it down to the battery is absolutely terrible. It might be able to hold a charge for, like, let me put it this way. If I'm, like, using, like, mobile data, like, I was at, like, 70% power, and then I'm on my break at lunch at work, so I have, like, 10 minutes on my break where I'm looking on, like, Facebook or whatever, so I spent 10 fucking minutes using mobile data, using my 3Gs. I get off and I'm like at 24% power. So, you know, that could just be solved just by getting another battery. So that's not a huge issue, but it still is annoying. The other main issue is this thing crashes all the time. Listening to music, crashes. Looking at pictures, crashes. Text messaging, crashes. Talking on the phone, crashes. This thing's like a $70 phone. I really shouldn't have had it this long, but whatever. So I'm getting a new one. I'm getting a Galaxy. I don't need the new like iPhone 7 Plus S or, you know, Galaxy SG1. I just need something that is a little bit more effective than this piece of crap. So I'm getting a new one. And I already ordered it. So don't send me recommendations on what to get. I already ordered a new one. It is a Galaxy. Hold on. Let me pull up what it is. It's a Galaxy S3. It's a refurbished one though. So it's not brand new, but it's from Walmart and it's Straight Talk, which I already had Straight Talk, which is pretty much handy. Because tell you one thing about Straight Talk, it's one of those pay-as-you-go plans. In case you're maybe, I don't know if it's in every country, I don't know. But before this, I had Verizon, and the thing about Verizon, I was paying my own cell phone bill. I was paying $90 a month for my cell phone bill. And I could do the exact same thing on Straight Talk for $45, so that was completely pointless why I was doing that. I was just wasting money there for like a couple months. But yeah, this one is like a refurbished model, and I think it's only like for a limited time, so I'm getting it through Walmart, and my mom works there, so I get a discount through that. And it also comes with its own, you know, 45, like the plan comes with it, like bundled together, so really good deal. It's about it's $180, but good deal with all the discounts and the bonus shit I get with it, and considering the fact it is a fairly decent phone of Galaxy for that amount of money. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Other thing happened today. I got this in the mail. Hold on. Should have this shit together, but, you know, you'd think after doing this for 22 times I'd have something together with this. It's a Dipper hat! Yeah. So, I made this after I got it. And we're going to be doing a video with this in the future. I'm not sure where we're going with this, but I've had Gravity Falls on the mind recently because I came back last week with the episode that was kind of a big deal, sort of, a little bit. So I ordered this hat, and then I made this, and I'm going to film something with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm leaning on the lines of Dipper meets Slender Man. I think that would be a nice little sketch comedy thing I could do. So yeah, that's coming up in the near future. Also, I wanted to say this before. I just keep forgetting every time I make one of these. I'm thinking about making this a semi-regular thing where I do the vlogs every month. Obviously, I'm not going to do them every month. What I was thinking of is like every other month or every 3 months I'm going to do this. So this will end in July, which I actually am kind of sad because I did like this little adventure, this little thing. If nothing else, it gave me at least one thing to do every day. Even on days where I wake up and there's, you know, absolutely nothing to do today. I'm off work and I don't have to make a video and I don't feel like making a live stream. At least I can do this, you know, like, because it's good to have purpose. And I've discussed some really, I've gone into detail on a lot of things, and I was afraid that when I started doing this everyday thing, I was going to be like, the first 5 days I'd be good, but after that I'm just out of ideas. But no, we went through a bunch of shit. We've discussed multiple topics, and I'm happy about that. And there's still some topics I even haven't discussed yet. But yeah, so after July, I'm probably not going to do. Actually, probably more like maybe every 3 months. Let's say. Let's not say every other month. It's just really how I think about it, because August would be kind of difficult to do it all the way through, because I do start school halfway through August. I started school a little bit earlier than I did last year. And then September, once again, that's right in the middle of school. I don't want to, because I'm still getting in the groove of everything there. I'm still taking these new classes. I'm taking some comm classes. I'm also taking an American Sign Language class because I have to have a foreign language. And okay, here's what you understand with this, and it makes no sense, but here it is. No matter what your major is, you have to take some general studies courses, okay? So you have to take some degrees of history, some degrees of science. Even if your major has nothing to do with history or science, you still have to take at least basic levels of it. So I had to take 2 biology courses, 2 history courses, a shit ton of math courses, which, like, math's useful. I'm not going to say, like, oh, you don't need math, but, the kind of math like, trigonometry and calculus, that shit you don't need in your everyday life unless you work in a job that's particularly for it. But yeah, I had to take courses like that, and another course you have to take is foreign language, so no matter what your major is. And I had a flashback when I found out about this, because it's not something I thought about for a while, but back when I was a freshman in high school, they offer you foreign language, and some high schools is different from the other ones I went to in terms of foreign language. Like the high school I went to only offered French and Spanish. My friend's high school, where he went to, they offered, I believe, they had German and Spanish, I think, but I think also French. I'm not sure, but they had German, I know for certain. There was another one I know that offered Italian, but mine, French and Spanish. And the reason I went with Spanish, not for any particular reason. The only reason I went with Spanish is because I heard that the French teacher was a massive bitch. And to her credit, Miss Schweitzer, she was not a massive bitch. It's just that particular year she was pregnant with a 10-pound baby. So, yeah, I could see where the attitude might come from that. Because I ended up having her for English anyway. It's like I couldn't win. It's like I took Spanish to avoid this teacher who I heard was a massive bitch, but I ended up having her for an English course anyway. So yeah, she wasn't fun, but you can't blame her because she had to give birth to a 10-pound baby. I'm just, holy shit, lady. But yeah, so I ended up taking Spanish that year with the Spanish teacher. Her name was Mrs. Seltzer. And I didn't do too well, to say the least. A couple of things about that course, though. I didn't really like the curriculum. It didn't make any sense to me, because every day, we did like the same thing every day, and this is what we did. We would go in, she would give us 2 sheets of paper. One sheet of paper would have nothing but Spanish phrases on them, or Spanish sentences. The other piece of paper would have nothing but English sentences. And all we would do every day is just match them up. She would go down the line of classes, like, Kelly, this line, number 4, which line matches up with this? So she would have to say the Spanish phrase, and then the English. She would switch it up, do English and then Spanish. But that's all we would do every fucking day. And after a while, she wouldn't go in order every day. So I remember going in there acting like I'm on a freaking target. I'm just like, because some days you could get away with her not picking you once, because it was a large class. There was like probably close to 25, 30 kids in there. It was one of those bigger classes because there was only like 2 Spanish teachers. And the other Spanish teacher was for the higher levels. She was for the lower levels ones. So there was like everybody that wanted to take Spanish ended up in this class. So it was huge. So some days she would avoid me. And whenever she would call on me, I would never hardly get it right. Or I would just, like, lucky guess. Because you could just guesstimate because, like, okay, because the process of elimination. Like, okay, they used, numbers 1 through 15. Those are wrong. So therefore, I had, like, a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So sometimes I would just get lucky. But anyway, point of the story is, near the end of the class, I was failing, like, straight up. Like, I got the lowest grade I've ever gotten on any test in my entire life. Maybe, like, barring something that happened in elementary school. But out of middle school, high school, all the college courses I've taken, I've gotten the lowest score in that Spanish class, and that was a 19%. 19% on a test. I remember the week before, because I wasn't doing too well. The first test I did, I got a D, and I don't usually get D's, so I was freaking out. My test scores were not doing well. I was failing everyone after that. So one night, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to study this shit all night. I'm going to do this. And I did it. I studied all night. I went in, and I studied like, like seriously, like an all-nighter. Like, I've never done all-nighters, but this was the only all-nighter I did. Went in there, took the exam. I got a 63. I still failed. I did the best I could possibly do, and I failed. And the only reason I got a D on the first test is because it was the first test. It was pretty easy. But I failed everyone after that. So after I tried the hardest I could try, I still failed. I said, fuck it. And then the next test, I didn't even care. I didn't even study. I didn't even know we had one. I just walked in and he's like, here's your test. I'm like, oh, fuck. That's the one I got a 19% on. So, end of the year runs around. I had a 59%. You need a 70 to get a C. You need a 70 to pass. She gave me 11 points. And it was right there that I knew that there was no way that she doesn't fail anybody. Because no teacher gives you 11 points. No, like maybe if you can plead for a point or two, like if you needed, like you had a 69 and you needed a 70 to pass, maybe they might take sympathy on you and spot you a point or two, but never 11 points. So that's when I knew that, you know, she passes everybody. She has to. But, the last day of class, I didn't even thank her because I didn't even know, at this point I don't think I knew what I got yet, because we didn't get what we got to like the very, very last day of school is when we got our cards, our report cards, and at that point we didn't have, like, we just go and get our cards and then leave. So I didn't know she gave me 11 points. Probably would have thanked her, probably would have made her a cake. But I go up, she calls me up to her desk on like the last regular day of classes, and she's like, Matthew, and I'm like, yes, where do you want to go to college? And I'm like, now, keep in mind, I'm a freshman in high school, bitch. I'm not thinking about college yet. I am 14 years old. My parents just got divorced, you know, not too long ago, not paying attention to college. So I just said the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, Penn State. Penn State is the State University of Pennsylvania. I was under no circumstances like trying to seriously think about going there, but I just threw it out because it was the first place I thought of. And she says to me, you cannot get into Penn State without a foreign language. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I know that. But it's like, and then she repeats it. She like gets serious. She's like, you cannot get into Penn State without a foreign language. And I'm like, okay, I will consider that. And I went and I sat down and we didn't talk the rest of the That was it. That was it. And she retired shortly thereafter. And I remember the next year, I was a sophomore. I didn't take any more Spanish, because you can take Spanish 1 freshman year, Spanish 2 sophomore year, then it goes up to Spanish 4. I didn't even take Spanish 2. I didn't even bother, because I'm like, if I failed that bad at Spanish 1, there's no fucking way I'm doing Spanish 4. I mean Spanish 2. I wouldn't even, cause then that teacher probably would not give me the correct grade. But I remember when I was my sophomore year, I saw her in like a study hall or something. She was like the teacher, and she just like, Matthew, did you take Spanish 2? And she like kind of grinned, and I'm just like, nope. And she's like, okay, because she knew. I was like, yeah. But so then I forget about foreign language for 6 years, because I'm a freshman, and I'm like, oh, I need foreign language to get into high school. I mean, I need foreign language to get into college. That's future Matthew's problem. This was 2008, by the way. So, you know, high school passes. I go to college, community college for 2 years. That's a community college. They don't require anything like that. Then I take a year off. Then I go to another year at the university I'm at right now. And so this will be 2014. So this is 6 years. Actually, no, this year. This will be 7 years. 7 years since 2008, since I had that discussion with Mrs. Seltzer. And I was meeting with my advisor on some classes I needed to take, and he's looking at my degree audit, all the classes I need to take, and he's like, you're missing a foreign language. And as he said that, I'm sitting in my advisor's office, Mr. Ottaway, and my mind just zooms flashback to 2008 when I'm seeing Mrs. Seltzer taking her big rim glasses being like, you cannot get to Penn State without a foreign language. And I'm like, damn it, bitch, 7 years later and you got me. So, damn it. So, my choices were Spanish, French, Italian, German, or foreign language in the form of sign language or American Sign Language. So I went with American Sign Language because that does count. I'm hoping I do good at it. I'm hoping it works out for me. Anyway, this was going in a route I did not even expect to figure out. When I started this vlog, I'm like, ooh, we're going to talk about my shitty phone or my Gravity Falls crap. But no, I ended up ranting for like 10 minutes about foreign language. But that's a good advice for people. That's good advice for somebody that is in high school right now in the United States anyway. Usually you need a foreign language. Do it. Just fucking do it. Because you don't want to be in college when that shit rears its ugly head, alright? At least take it in high school and get it out of the way. Dual enroll that shit. Seriously. It's not worth it. Because I got enough shit to... Because once you get to college, you have enough shit to worry about, depending on what your major is. I mean, my major is just digital media. My digital media comm. I mean, there are, some, keystone courses I have to take, some required courses. But if I was in nursing, or if you're going for any kind of, engineering degree, or something like that, you're probably going to have to, my friend Casey is going for nutrition. Do you know how much shit she has to take with a business management minor? So I don't know what the fuck. She just signed up for an 18-credit year, 18-credit semester. And, that's at that point where she's going. They actually have to make you sign a waiver. Because that's how heavy those class loads are. Oh, you understand signing this waiver that suicide rates do tend to go up when you take this many classes. She had to sign that shit. So I already have enough stuff to worry about, in the form of my already requirements for my comm. And there's a couple of other general studies courses I need to take. Foreign language really is just going to bog me down. I really should not have to take that crap, but I have to. So just get that out of the way in high school. Best way to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Wow, that really went... I felt like I dished out some wisdom there. I hope I did. Oh, remember, getting too nice. Feel the wave of the Arctic Ocean. I don't know, that's a good something. See you guys.